Hey everybody, welcome back to the Forum.
I'm Alfredo.
Brian.
Bemnet.
Micky.
Okay, so I think it's Freddy's turn to pick today's topic.
That feels like it should have been my turn a long time ago. But okay, I'll take what I can
Oh my
get.
goodness, okay.
I'll take what I can get.
I think it's my turn.
You shut up.
I have to stop drinking, what?
I don't think it's fair. All of a sudden, the guys get to go first.
I want this orange one from the match with the box. Would you rather adopt or foster a baby or an older child? Why or why not? Okay.
Making a mess.
Shut up. I'll clean it up later. It's my room.
We can't tell them where we film.
It's only they know where I
it's a
live.
studio, guys.
It's the
The studio being Freddy's room.
Yeah.
Try and find us.
Oh God.
I don't want to
Don't
challenge
give the internet a
people.
challenge.
Do not challenge people on the internet. God damn it.
Don't try to find this.
Don't even say that.
Wait, what?
Okay, so back to the topic.
Okay, Freddy, you want to start it?
I mean, I'm a big proponent of like, if I had to have a child, like I would rather adopt. Even though there's like all kinds of issues with the adoption industry in general, but if I had to bring a child into my household, into like that kind of whatever, I would rather adopt or foster, but I would rather do an older kid. I don't know, like, and by older I don't just mean like toddler, I mean legit like
Like a total teen?
like a teen or like a preteen or something like that. I don't know. These are kids that are usually forgotten because most people will go towards the younger kids. Most people will go towards toddlers. Will go towards like babies, just because they want to like actually raise a child.
Yeah.
Me, I kind of just, if I have to, I'm like, these are kids that are like forgotten. These are kids that stay in the system for far too long, and I'd rather give them a home, even if it's only for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. Well, when you speak about, because these are two separate things here. The topic for today is adopt and or foster. They're two separate things. Adoption is basically forever. Like you are gonna be with that child or that teen forever. Whereas a foster, I think it's like until like they're safe to go back to their regular household. Correct?
Not necessarily. When you foster a child, it could be you fostering them until they're safe to go back to their actual home, like with their biological family, or it could be until they're ready to move on to another foster home.
Oh,
like
wow.
it's not a guarantee that they stay with you until they find somewhere safe.
Oh.
Yeah, it kind of like when you told me about your old manager that she fostered that little girl, and she finally like won custody over her.
Yeah, of course.
So now it's her. So originally it was a foster, but now it's forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Foster could turn into forever.
Yeah,
Okay.
foster could be a temporary thing, but it could vary. A lot of times, it could very, very really turn into like a permanent thing.
But hold on. Okay, but speaking onto that, isn't foster like the, what do you call it? Like the Department of Child Services or whatever? Don't they like constantly like check up on you and everything, as opposed to adoption? They make sure that at the beginning that you guys are all okay and everything's okay and that's it. Isn't it like that? Like that's a big difference between the foster and the fostering and adopting?
Yeah, they have to do home checks just because they have to make sure that the child that you're fostering is in an actual safe home. That being said, it's also kind of a piece of shit because they'll look at it and be like, the kid looks like they're doing okay and they're fine. And like they'll walk out even if the kid is, very clearly like, not in a safe household. As long as the bare minimum is somewhat being met, a lot of times they're just like, yeah, this kid's fine.
Yeah, no,
Even if
of
they're
course.
not fine.
Well, the thing that I've noticed about like them, it feels like there's no in between. It's either, oh, they look like they're fine. Oh, they look fine. Let's go. Or it's like they will get into that business and like actually like overly, which those I appreciate more because they're gonna make sure that the kid's okay. But there's no like in between. It's either like they're basically another child. They're basically that child's another guardian. Like they're basically that guardian, the guardian of the child, or they just don't care and they're just there to just like check and be like, okay, no, they look fine. They don't have any bruises or anything like that. They're fine. Let's go.
And part of that is just because they're not properly equipped. Like there's not enough help.
Yeah, it's because social work doesn't pay nearly as much as it should. Like, let's be honest. Like, they pay okay, but it's not. They're overworked and underpaid. The social workers.
Yeah.
And then also they're bogged down by the bureaucracy of the entire industry. That is just kind of like the amount of paperwork they have to fill out for just one child is exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
So it sucks. But yeah, back to the point. I'd rather adopt or foster a teen if I had to. If I wanted a child in my life, it would rather be like a teen.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know. And that's because I remember, like, in a past episode, we were talking about kids, and it was like that traditional, like, dating, marriage, kids route, and I said, yeah, dating, marriage, great. Kids, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah.
And now I'm just kind of like, well, I don't know if I want kids anymore.
Right.
Like, I go back and forth so often, it's kind of exhausting, but currently I'm in a mindset where I don't want kids, like, at all.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's hard for me to decide, well, would I choose to adopt or foster an older child or a baby? Because I love kids, don't get me wrong, they're great. I've always joked that I'll babysit my friends' kids and I'll give them back at the end of the night. So I don't know. I don't know where I stand with this question just yet. Like, because the way that I kind of look at it is, if you're going to adopt an older child, it's mostly for the child's well-being. If you're going to adopt a younger child, like a baby or whatever, it's mostly so you feel like you've raised a child, and there's a difference in that.
Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, for all we know, that baby could be in a really bad environment.
Well, yeah.
So I see it both ways. I think that, like, obviously, in my opinion, I feel like when you adopt someone that's older, they carry on a lot of baggage because they've been through a lot. They've probably been in the system for too long. Maybe you don't know what their life was like before they landed onto your household. Like, they might have been in an abusive household, where they're just very triggered. So you always have to, I guess, kind of walk on eggshells so you don't say the wrong thing, because it's hard I think it's hard for both parties. It's hard for the kid because they're coming into an unknown house with unknown people, and then the people that want to raise you or help you, they need to watch what they say or what they do because they don't want to trigger you. So it's hard.
Yeah, but to be fair, to be fair, teenagers and preteens and all them, just even without the baggage of however they got into the system in the first place and being in the system, they still kind of carry a lot of baggage with hormones and just dealing with general teen stuff. Yeah, but that's not really like a fair comparison, because I don't know what being a normal teen is like, because obviously I was not a normal teen. I had my own baggage of being a gay kid.
A normal teen.
No.
That is.
Yes and no, because a normal teen is like someone, I'm not like a straight person. Like, you are born into, you're honestly, yeah, like you guys might not understand that because you both are straight women, but when you're a straight teen, you have normal teen problems. What am I going to take to the dance? Am I going to ditch class and stuff like that? When you're a gay teen, you are adding that extra pressure onto what everyone else already has.
Well, wait, I still want to argue that, because yes, I don't understand what it's like to not be straight, because I am straight. I don't understand what it's like to be lesbian or bi. I probably never will. But that's not to say that I haven't had my own struggles like every single teen has. For my struggles, a lot of it was like personal. It was a lot of mental stuff. It was a lot of health struggles. So I didn't care about like, am I going to ditch this class or who am I going to go to prom with? My struggle was, am I going to be able to make it through this day without having another fucking health issue? Like, that was my personal issue.
No, I get that. But I think what Brian is getting at is, when you are part of the LGBTQ umbrella, especially growing up, when you're going through the younger years, especially nowadays it's different. Nowadays it's some spaces are, especially like in the bigger cities, the metropolitan areas, they're a lot more open. Like, you're able to find some safe spaces where you can, LGBTQ clubs. Maybe you might make a few friends that are LGBTQ. But like, from my experience growing up in high school, I maybe knew one other gay person. Like, I didn't have anyone that I could relate to. Like, I didn't have any safe space that I could, like, to be able to talk to people about, like, what I was going through and what coming out was like and figuring out who I was and all of that. So, and on top of that, I'm also in the closet around certain friends. I'm also in the closet around my family, because I didn't come out to my dad until I was 18, until after high school. Until, like, the high school was, like, I was about to get out of high school. So being in the closet around most people. And that just brings, and then, there's the obvious insecurities that I'm dealing with being, like, overweight. There's me being Mexican and, dealing with that, like, certain racism. So it's like, I think it's just each thing has its own struggles, but, like, anyone who's under the LGBTQ umbrella, we all kind of share.
It's just adding another.
It's just adding another layer on top of it.
I'm not trying to, like, denounce that. Like, I feel like that's kind of where the disconnect is, because I'm not trying to denounce being LGBT has its own struggles.
Right.
I'm just saying every single teen has their own personal set of struggles, and therefore there's no such thing as a teen that's anything but normal.
Right.
In society's eyes, no, but in society's eyes, there is Bemnet. That's why society sucks. Because if you go up to your parents or to anyone and say, "Oh, I'm dealing with mental issues," you're like, "It's okay, Bemnet, it's normal." If I go and I say I'm dealing with this and they're, like, super homophobic, they'll be like, "Well, you're weird. You're sinning. You're not meant to be gay. Don't be gay. Be straight."
Well, yeah, but I think you're getting a lot of this from media. Because, and a lot of, like, when I went to my counselor and I was dealing with some of this stuff, and I actually came out to my counselor in my junior year, they said, well, they gave me pamphlets to the LGBTQ center. They actually helped me out. Like, they were there. And I understand not everyone has that experience and not everyone had a counselor who was actually willing to talk to them. But, especially the underpaid counselors in this school district. But, I don't know, like, not just a lot of that comes, I think a lot of what you're talking about is just kind of pushed on by the media for the most part. And especially nowadays when mental health is such kind of like a key point in a lot of schools. Granted, there are a lot of school districts that don't really give too much, like, focus on that. But with mental health being such a topic nowadays, I don't think that it's something that can be ignored. Maybe in households. Maybe if, like, a parent or whatever, brothers and sisters, you tell them, "Oh, I'm going through, I have depression," or whatever, they'll just say, "Oh, grab this mop and help me clean," and they'll clear your depression. But, yeah, most schools, they actually pay attention to that now for the most part. Yeah, as long as you're willing to speak up about it. Most of the time they won't come up to you and talk about it. But if you reach out to somebody, usually there's at least one person that'll listen.
No, Brian looks like he's
I'm lost. What? What?
No, it's because you're talking about, like, mental health issues.
No, I'm saying, like, not like, I'm saying, like, if someone suffers from mental health, nobody will see that. Well, not a lot of people will see that as weird, because mental health has been, like, a big thing as of now.
As of now. Not when we were kids.
Not when we were kids.
No, but I'm saying, like, my point is, as of now, like, someone having mental issues, like, it's rare when someone tries to, like, dismiss it, because it's a serious thing. People that are still homosexuals, they're still struggling with the same bullshit we've been struggling for years. Mm-hmm. That's my point. I'm not saying that you didn't have problems growing up. We all did. I'm saying in society, your problems will still be deemed as a normal girl problem, whereas my problems will be deemed as a gay problem.
Not necessarily, because what she's saying is, like, she's saying that she struggled with, like, health issues. The health issues isn't a normal girl thing. Like,
no, I was told by the age of 11, yeah, if you don't take care of your shit, you're gonna die before you reach the age of 20, and that's jarring as a child. That is mentally jarring. Like, that screwed me up more than you know. And I don't want to argue this point, because I feel like from your understanding, you're saying that people within the LGBT community have to deal with being a normal teen, on top of the fact that they also have to deal with the stigma of being part of that community. And that's true, because I don't have to deal with that, but you do. You did.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, like I feel like at the end of the day, we can all try to put each other be in each other's shoes, and we still, like, to try to somewhat understand. But it just sucks that as of now, like I said, like, gay people will, as far as I know, gay people are not considered normal in society. They're not considered people. They're considered gay people, lesbian people, and it sucks. But it's the way it is. We're our own label basically, and I hate it because I wish we would just treat everyone as people. But society always goes, oh, that they're gay, that they have gay problems.
But that's not true though. Like nowadays they don't label you. Maybe back then they don't label you now. Honestly, nowadays everyone is treated, no, I shouldn't say everyone. A lot of people nowadays understand that everyone has their own, what's the word I'm trying to look for? Their own like there's like he, she, him, her, like his, him. Yeah, they're like pronouns. So everyone is addressed the way they would want to be addressed. We're like, dude, nowadays with like cameras and videos and all that shit that's being published on the internet, people will fucking bash you and they will not let shit like that slide. So if you're sitting there playing like the what do you call it? Like it's not a race card, because I guess you wouldn't call it the race card, but it's like when you're sitting there like bashing on someone because they're a guy dressing like a woman, it's like you're gonna get like bashed on by the internet.
Not really, because there's different sides of the internet.
Yeah, there's some sides that would that are gonna like jump on. It's like, yeah, I get that,
And there's sides that are gonna be like, you deserve it.
Well, yeah, because that's not like the whole world doesn't all agree. That's the thing.
Right.
We're not all gonna agree with everything that everybody says, but that's what makes us human.
Right.
But there is a large majority of the world that will agree with you and will be with you.
Yeah, I feel like as a world where we are moving more progressively, there's just a very vocal minority that really likes to just push that narrative, that still say that, gay people are going to hell, or all that other stuff, that are really just pushing that narrative. And they're very loud, so it feels like there's more than they are.
Yeah.
But in reality, I think the majority, especially here in the United States, I can't speak for any other country, but here in the United States, I feel like we're progressing. It's just very vocal minority, and unfortunately, some people like in power feel this way, but those people are like old. So hopefully, a lot of people in power are old. There are a few that are a little bit younger that, in their 40s, 50s, which is unfortunate. But, like I said, they're part of a very vocal minority. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm just saying everyone has their own issues that they had growing up. Everyone had to deal with their own obstacles and hurdles. And there's honestly no good comes out of playing the Suppression Olympics. Mm-hmm. The Oppression Olympics. Nobody wins when you play this game. We all just kind of go through our own shit. Yeah. And it sucks. Black people have their own individual stuff that they go through that no one else will experience. Same thing goes with Mexicans, Asians, part of the LGBTQ community. Yeah. Me and speaking on some of us, when we're overweight, we deal with our own stuff. Mm-hmm. Everyone deals with their own shit, and it's just kind of I think that's just kind of a collective thing. Yeah. Going back to the main topic. When you adopt a teenager, you kind of understand and you kind of have that knowledge going in when that child steps into your home. I have a teenager. There's going to be shit I need to go through. Mm-hmm. There's going to be shit I need to go through, and there's going to be shit that they're bringing into this house because they've brought it with them because, like Brian said, there's baggage. Yeah. No matter who it is, whether it's health problems, whether it's racial stuff, whether it's LGBTQ community, whether it's an abusive past, whether it's, mental issues, whether it's drug abuse, whatever it is, you're kind of going into it there's things that I need to deal with, but that's teenage life.
That's teenage life, but it's also you're adopting this child or you're fostering this child because you genuinely want to love this child. You eventually want to get to know this child and you want to care for it. So you're gonna find like things that you can potentially have in common with this child, or maybe even things that you guys can like talk about or you guys can do together.
Yeah.
You know, so because let's face that reality. If you foster or adopt like a teenager or like a preteen, they're coming into a stranger's home.
Yeah.
Like they're fully aware that they're coming into something that they don't know of. So it doesn't surprise me if a lot of them are scared. Like, they don't know what they're getting themselves into.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and, you know, I want to assume and I want to hope that that parent or that family will take that child or that preteen or that teenager in and give it all the love and, you know, attention and affection that you would give one of your own children.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, honestly, one can only hope.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is a problem within the adoption industry, is that you're allowed to return your child.
Unfortunately,
This is not. It's not like a Christmas gift that doesn't. It's not a Christmas sweater that doesn't fit you. Like, you don't get. It's not a keep a receipt and let's go to JCPenney. Like,
yeah.
Like, I personally think unless there was something seriously wrong with your living condition that was overlooked, or I don't know, you just adopted the freaking Antichrist or something.
The orphan.
Like, you just adopted the girl from the orphan.
The girl from the
like,
orphan.
legitimate, like, crazy situations like that. Like, I really don't think you should be able to return that child.
Like
But at
foster
the same
child?
time, at the same time, I understand your viewpoint because it's fucked up to just be like, well, I don't like this child anymore. Let me give him back. That's ridiculous. But at the same time, if you're gonna adopt a child and then you realize, hey, I don't like this child and this child doesn't like me and we're not connecting and blah blah blah, and I want to give them back, but you can't, then you're just gonna be a sucky ass parent and nobody wants
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
Like, you have to be able to sit there and be like, okay, I may not like this child, but I have to at least give them the bare minimum of like food, clothing, like all the necessities that they need.
I mean, I guess.
At bare minimum, they have to be able to do that, or else they're just genuine pieces of shit.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I do, and that's true because there's plenty of parents who with their biological child that
They're horrible.
Yeah, they're horrible, or like when their kids get to a certain age, they're like, oh, I can't stand them being a teenager, I can't stand them, they break all my rules, they don't listen to me, they don't do nothing, and then they're just a shitty ass parent because there's nothing they can do to them. So I get what you're saying. It's just I hate that's a
That
thing.
you're able to return your kid.
Like, you're able to return an adoption kid or a foster kid?
An
Either
adopt-
way, both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know foster kids, yes, if the situation becomes unbearable, I kind of don't blame them. Like, if the kid is not receiving the attention, or the parent or the foster parents can't control the kid, then yes, there has to be mediation because.
But I mean, like, that's like you're adopting a child. That means you're ready to be a parent. So parent the child.
But the thing is that at least when it comes to foster care, like this is what I was trying to get to before. Is like the parent will tell me about this teenager. What are we in for? And then if the lady or the guy working at the foster care goes, oh well, they were in an abusive household. They're very like triggered. If people get intimidated, they're like, yeah, maybe I'm not prepared to take care of someone like that.
But I mean, that's gotta be most cases.
Yeah, but I mean, like as a foster parent, I feel like would you be more inclined to adopt a little girl that just became an orphan and her parents died and she has nowhere to go, whereas the only thing that she goes through is grief? Or would you go with the teenager that experienced his whole family being murdered and he's a lone wolf?
A lot of the time, it's not like that.
Yeah, it's not like you go shopping. It's not like you have.
No, but you're allowed to ask information about the child that you're going to bring into your house.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But there's a lot of cases where you get to know bare minimum. You have like 10 minutes to be like, hey, we're bringing this kid to your door. We need you to take them in ASAP. Here's what we can give you at this time.
Yeah,
you have no choice but to just open your home to them.
Yeah, that's fostering. Adoption's a little bit different, but fostering, yeah, that's essentially what'll happen.
then I'm curious how the foster system works, because what I was told is that You get to decide if you want to take the child in or not. They will ask you.
Sometimes.
They will ask you if you can.
I think
Sometimes, but not all the time.
It's just because the adoption process is such a lengthy process. Like they have to check you. They have to check mental health. They have to check medical records. They have to check your income. They have to see if you're in a dual income household with two parents or it's just one parent. They have to look at. They look at everything about the parents, like every tiny little fucking detail. And then once they feel like you are deemed, they're like, you go. As far as I don't know. I've never adopted. I've never gone through an adoption process. So maybe one of our viewers who has adopted or is an adopted kid or is familiar with the adoption process, maybe you guys can educate me a little bit because I'm not familiar with it. But I'm not really familiar with it.
I've had people that fostered and they told me that's how it worked. So that's why I'm kind of confused.
Well, I mean that's how they had their foster experience,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to deny that. But there's a lot of different kinds of foster experiences.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense that it's like, oh, well, here's the kid, you have to take him.
That happens.
It
In an
does.
emergency situation where a kid was like, for example, let's say a kid was just taken from their household from let's say CPS took a child out of their current home and they're like, we need to give this child a place to stay ASAP, and they don't have anywhere to really take them. They'll contact a foster family and be like, hey, we have this kid, they need a place to stay right now, can you take them in? Or sometimes it's not even can you take them in, it's just like, we have nowhere else to take them, please help us out, just take this kid at least for a few days. And it's literally just like emergency status, like we need this kid somewhere safe.
Yeah.
So there's different ways. Like sometimes it really can be like, oh hey, we have this kid that we want to send to a foster home, like are you available, in the next 2 weeks? And you've got time to like really set up space for them, like make sure they've got all clothes that they might need, books and notepads, and just stuff for school, and like what their dietary restrictions are, if any, if they need any special accommodations, things like that. Sometimes you are able to be prepared.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, if anyone can educate me a little bit on, once we're done with this episode, I'll probably look up more stuff about the adoption industry, because that is something that I am interested in someone that is interested in like social work and all that. Like I might look up into it just to see what it's all about. And if I do have a kid one day, it's nice to do my research when it comes to adoption anyway.
Yeah.
But going back to the main point, I'm the only one who answered the question.
No, Bemnet answered the
I
question.
gave a half answer.
She said she
Well-
didn't really care for kids.
Well, yeah, she
Okay,
did.
fair.
She answered the question, and then Brian.
That's fair.
This is a hard one because I do think it's a beautiful thing when you adopt someone that's older, because Freddy's right. Like a lot of people, a lot of teenagers and a lot of older kids are not wanted because they're older. Everyone wants a baby, and honestly, I'd be lying if I say I wouldn't want a baby, because babies are cute. Like they're just so innocent. I think that was my thing, and the other topic about having kids. I would at least want to adopt a newborn just for the experience. Like I know everyone's like, oh my god, babies, sleepless nights, they cry for everything. But I would like to experience that at least once in my life. And then maybe I can adopt like an older kid down the road, Or maybe adopt the older kid first and then have the newborn after. I don't know, but me as a person, I would want to experience having a baby. I would like to see what that's about. Obviously, I think it's a little more. I think it's harder to get a newborn nowadays, especially if you're like in a same-sex marriage. I think you have to jump through more hoops than a regular.
It depends on what state.
Yeah.
Well, some states are harder than others.
Mm-hmm.
But
another thing, even though it's not on the topic, surrogacy. Like surrogacy is expensive, but that's another option to go if you have the funds. That's another way to have another newborn.
yeah. Also, I think I want to adopt older because I don't want to have the conversation of, oh, you're adopted. It's like, because if I have that with like a 12-year-old, like I adopt at 12, I raise them for like 3 years and so, and I'll be like, you're adopted. He's like, yeah, I know.
They'll be like, no shit.
It's like, what the hell? I know. I'm like, okay. I just wanted to have this conversation. It's like, what the hell, Dad? Yes, I know I was adopted. I was there.
I was there.
See, but that's when that child would get your sarcastic ass.
That's
because
right. 3 years.
Let me tell you
3 years down the
something.
line.
That's all it would take is 3 fucking years to get this sarcastic asshole's fucking. I can't. He's just that'd be the way it is. Like after like a year or two, it's like so he says some smart ass thing, and I'm gonna be like, I should have known.
I'm gonna throw at your adopted party.
Oh God.
I swear to God, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is this?
Like an anniversary every year of the year you adopted the kid.
Yeah, but I started like 2 or 3 years in, so it's like more about I know.
Okay, well, they'd either be like, I know, Dad, obviously,
Like,
or
you
they'd
can't-
just be like, hold up, wait, is this like a second birthday? Because I'm in.
Yeah.
Or if they're just as sarcastic as me, they'd like act all surprised, like, no way.
He can't. Okay, so back to the question. So yes, while I agree that as of right now with things that are going on, I don't think it's great to bring a kid if you're not fully prepared. Again, financially, emotionally, it's a lot. Like where I'm at, I can't even be allowed to take care of a pet. So money and society and all that crazy world stuff aside, if things were perfect, yes, I would love to adopt. Like I said, I would like to adopt either the older kid and then a newborn, or a newborn and then the older kid. But bottom line, I do want to experience a baby.
Yeah. Micky, you're the only one that hasn't answered the question, and we're like 30 minutes in probably.
No, I think for me, it's just, I would probably do both. Because I don't have a preference. Like, granted, yes, I would want a baby, and I think that'd be cute, But here's my thing. I at least want one baby. I want to experience the whole, like, being pregnant, and y'all are going to hate me, and I'm going to be so demanding and needy, and, all that
She's
shit.
gonna be a bigger bitch than she already is. That's what she means.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's nonsense. But yeah, I would want to experience a pregnancy, and then honestly, like, if it were up to me, I'd probably just adopt an older child. I'd be like, well, I feel like it's more of a probability of the older child, never getting adopted, and I would not mind adopting an older child. And I mean, we could just have fun, Like, I don't know. I feel like, and honestly, I feel like I wouldn't be picky on what kind of child it'd be. Like, I'd be like, I'd take whichever one you want to give me.
I want to make sure you can connect with the child and all that.
You have to be prepared for whatever, yeah.
No, of course.
I want a transformer child.
Stupid. I can't stand you.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, for me, it wouldn't really matter what kind of child I got, as long as that child can hopefully open up to me and love me the way I'm gonna love it, because I get really attached to people quite often.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me to get attached to this, I'll get attached to that child, even though it's not mine. I love it like it's my own.
Well, Micky did a good point. Okay, let me rephrase that. I would much rather adopt before I foster. They get attached to. And imagine getting attached to a kid and then they have to leave.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
that would kill me.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, that would really kill me.
Yeah, so a shout out to you foster parents out there that do this and that have to go through the pain. You guys are great. I don't know if I can do it. I get so attached to people.
Yeah.
Probably get. I'm one of those people who I get attached, but I wouldn't show it. Like whatever. But it'd be like once like CPS comes or whoever the adoption agency whatever comes and takes the foster kid away, I'd be like, no, they're mine. They're mine.
Stupid.
Freddy's the bully in school that goes, I'm not crying.
You kind of remind me of Castillo, because she did that with her dog, because she fosters dogs.
Oh yeah.
And she did that with Amazon, where she was just like, I'm just gonna foster Amazon for a little bit, and ended up adopting her.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you would do.
Oh, absolutely. I would absolutely fight for every single child I foster. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, I would absolutely fight. Even if they're the freaking Antichrist. I'm like, no, they're mine. I want to bring hellfire upon the earth.
My goodness.
Demon spawn.
That's right. Why? I mean, to survive the apocalypse, who better than to befriend than the Antichrist?
There.
Stupid.
He has a point there.
Like, you want to make friends with the winner.
Stupid. But yeah, no, you guys are right. Honestly, like, I mean, if I had to foster, I would. But I don't think it'd be in me though. Honestly, I just can't. Like it'd be hard, and I'm very emotional. I'll stay emotional for a while. So imagine me being emotional because this child left me and it's been 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even hot Cheetos or Stitch shares are up.
A mess. I don't know. And also another point to kind of bring up is like even if I let's say I foster like a 16-year-old, the 16-year-old, 17-year-old, technically they're out of the house. Technically they can leave the house at like 18 or whatever. But I mean, I don't know, even just like having those like 2 years, it's like, yeah, I've only been your guardian for 2 years, but family's forever. So it's like, so even though I'm only raising you for 2 years here in this household, if you want to freaking stay until you're 40 years old, stay here until you're 40 years old because I love you.
Yeah, you live in that basement.
No. It's like, live here until you're 40 years old because I freaking love you and I want to stay with you, and there's a reason you're here with me, and there's a reason I'm your guardian, and I haven't like smacked you into Pluto yet.
My goodness.
I'm just kidding. I don't condone violence against children.
But then after they're living there until they're 40, they don't have children no more.
They'll be grown.
I know, but I'm not going to hit my child.
And you'll be an old man.
So?
Aw, Freddy talking about that made me teary-eyed. There's no child, no way. No, you started talking about that and that made me cry. Like, imagine a child being 16 years old and they're thinking, well, I'm going to have to leave in 2 years because they're not going to want me here. And then you say like, oh, you don't have to leave. You can stay here as long as you want.
Yeah.
Like, imagine a child hearing that and like all of a sudden their heart just like, okay.
I don't know, like...
It depends. Some parents are like, my own kid, once they're 18,
well, yeah, but like if you're loving and caring to them from the time that they got there, and then they turn like 18 and they're like, I'm kind of forced to go, and then because a lot of kids, they'll just up and leave, and with like they just they'll feel like they don't love me enough to keep me until I'm 18.
Yeah.
Or past 18.
Yeah.
It's like you're an adult. You have to leave.
Yeah.
But if like Freddy like extends his hand and he's like, you don't have to leave.
No.
Like your 18th birthday is around the corner. Like you don't have to leave if you don't want to. You can stay here.
Yeah.
No, it's a beautiful thing. Kind of emotional. like not.
Stop crying.
I haven't slept. Okay, you leave me alone.
Oh yeah, she's tired. She's angry, cranky, sad. No, but that is a sad thing. Like when a teenager feels like that, because again, like especially if they've been in the system for so long, like there's teenagers that go from house to house to house, and they're just used to not even staying there like forever. That you're just used to like, okay, I'm going to be here for like a week or two and then they're going to hate me and they're going to send me to another house. And they've gotten so accustomed to that life that it would be beautiful and refreshing for a family to be like, no, like, we're not going to take you away. Like, you can stay here. It is. It's beautiful.
You do when you feel like it.
Yeah. So I don't know, that's how I feel about adoption. Like, I'd rather get them when they're older, help them heal from the trauma of whatever they faced. Because, as much as, like, I'm an impatient bastard, I'm actually really fucking patient when it comes to kids.
No,
sometimes.
No, he is.
Oh, no, kids, yeah. But he isn't.
No, he's an asshole to us. But no, to like, because I can tell you, like, growing up with Freddy, like, Freddy was really patient with me when it came to, like, my schoolwork and shit. Like, I was stupid. Like, I didn't, like...
What?
Fuck you, but like when we were doing homework and he was teaching me how to do shit, because math is not my strong suit. Like we were sitting there and Freddy could tell you, like, dude, it wouldn't click in my fucking head. And Freddy would sit there and as much as you could see it on his face, he was pissed the fuck off. He was like sitting there teaching me until I understood.
Yeah, I was there for those days.
You weren't there for that day.
Not?
Yeah, I was there once when you were helping her out.
Oh, but that was once.
Yeah, but still, I experienced him.
It's not like Father when he would teach us and he's all like, what is this plus this? I don't know. What is this? It's not like
repeating the same thing. Repeating the same thing but louder just makes me stressed.
It's like yelling it only makes this worse. Yeah.
So that's how Freddy learned communication, because you don't want to be like his daddy.
No, honestly, because the same thing happened when he was teaching me how to drive. He would yell at me for every little thing, and I'm just all like, Father, yelling at me only makes this worse because I don't understand. Being louder does not help. I'm not hard of hearing. I just don't understand.
See, that's why I am forever grateful for this bitch right here.
For teaching you how to drive?
Yes, because let me tell you something. I wasn't going to be taught by you, and I sure as hell was not going to be taught by my father.
Okay, I would have taught you if my car was better.
I know, but...
And also, I'm traumatized for teaching this one.
I'm sure, and that's bullshit because that's not fair. I should have been taught first, but I was scared.
Also, I taught this one. He's fine.
Yeah.
He just has to
No,
turn on
Freddy's still traumatized. Okay, we're going off topic here, dude. What's going on?
I'm sorry.
They're probably like rewinding. Okay, when did I stop talking about the adoption thing? Okay, we're gonna wrap it up because we're derailing really bad.
Wrapping it up.
Going back to the topic, can I update my answer?
Oh, yes, I love it.
Okay.
I'll take your answer.
We love growth.
Yeah. Okay, just cause kind of like hearing where you guys are coming from and like your thought process and what you guys have to say about it. I realize if I were to adopt or foster, I would want to adopt a baby, because like you guys said, like you and Freddy both said, you guys get attached easily and I do not. Like I find it so hard to actually connect with people. So if I were to go into that process thinking, okay, I'm going to adopt an older child, I'm going to love them and provide them the best that I can, I'm not going to instantly fall in love with this kid. I'm going to look at them just like they're going to be an awkward ass little child coming into my home, and I'm going to be an awkward ass adult being like, hello child, feel at home. And I'm just like, what? That wouldn't make sense to me. We would just be awkward little weirdos.
Okay, but what if it would just be a little mini you like, hello child, hello mother.
Or like that little kid on TikTok, hi baby girl.
She's so cute. She's so cute. She literally just sits there the whole time and she's like, hi baby girl. You guys saw that video like 10 times.
See, I see Bemnet. I see Bemnet doing this like in that episode of Family Guy where they were like, where Quagmire was sitting down. He was taking care of his daughter, and then he's like, so hi. What's going on?
Oh God!
And then he's like, so the kitchen's over there, the bathroom's over there. Something like that. But he's like, if you find a sock on the door, just so you know I'm banging someone. And yeah. The TV's right there. And she's like fucking a year old.
Just like staring
She's
at
just staring at her. And then she falls.
Okay, see, I mean, if I were to adopt an older child, that wouldn't be that bad. But it'd be somewhere along the lines where I'd just be like quickly explaining everything, just like awkward and just kind of like frantic, and just you can see the anxiety rolling off of me.
When someone goes, do this, do that, do not go there.
Oh yeah, stay in the kitchen.
I wouldn't be like dictator. I wouldn't be like commanding and just like taking control and just be like, this is where you go, do this, do that. Like I wouldn't do that. I'd just kind of be like, well, hi, welcome into my home. Try to do your best to feel as comfortable as possible. If you need any help, I'm always gonna be here. Like I would go into full training mode. I wouldn't be in mom mode. I'd just be in training mode. It'd just be like, this is like, just like, here's the bathroom, here's the kitchen, here's your room where you're gonna be sleeping. If you don't like this room, we can always change it up and do different things and blah blah blah. What are you into? What do you like? And I would not shut up, which is so weird because I don't like to talk.
You know,
You're gonna have to get like a husband or whatever at that time who's like can shut you up. Who can just put a hand over your mouth, just be all like, just make yourself comfortable.
Christian, that's totally Christian.
He would.
But now that I'm going back, I just realized something.
So
I don't have any friends.
we know.
Wow!
Why did you pause? Why did you
Because I was being serious.
That's what you get for pausing.
I was gonna say something serious, and this bastard.
I saw the opportunity of like, oh my god, he's silent.
You're such a stupid bitch. I hate you. Anywho. Okay, no, back to being serious. I don't have any friends that are in the foster system or that have been foster kids. I just realized this.
Yeah.
All of my friends have parents or have family. Like I have
Biological family.
Yeah, like I have friends who don't have their parents, who live like with grandma, uncle, aunt and stuff, but I haven't met a person that has been adopted or Or at least if I have, they haven't said anything.
Yeah.
So now I'm curious. I'm like, I would want to talk to someone. I think that's, I would love, if we could like redo this topic again with someone that is a foster child and they could tell us his or her struggles, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you that I know somebody.
Have you ever talked to them about this, or have they opened about the?
They have, but unfortunately, that person. Obviously, I would never want to speak to that person again. But there's a lot of hatred towards their adoptive mother and their adoptive father. Well, but I think it's also because he's very. He's kind of an asshole, first of all, to begin with. Yeah. Because even though his mother and his adoptive mother and his adoptive father have given him everything, he's still ungrateful. Like, he's lazy, he doesn't work, he doesn't do... Like, he literally lives under their roof and lives off of them. And now he's probably like 30 years old, and I don't believe he has a job. Mm-hmm. So he hates them. I don't know if it's hate or it's more like... the way that he found out he was adopted wasn't the right way, because he was told by his aunts and uncles on his mom's side, like his adoptive mom's side, that he was adopted.
Oh, he didn't hear it from the parents?
No, he didn't hear it from them, because I guess there was some sort of rivalry going on, and I think the uncle or something was pissed, and he blurted it out. Damn. And he was like obviously he was in fucking shock. But I don't think he knows who his parents are. That's like rough. His actual parents. And I mean, granted, like, you know, he got adopted when he was a baby, you know, but I think it was the way he found out. And on top of that, like, I mean, no offense to, I don't give a fuck. His mom's a bitch. Like, his mom is just a straight up bitch. At least she was to me. Yeah. You know, like, she took advantage of, you know, a lot of the things that happened during our relationship. So it was... I mean, it sucked, but at the end of the day, like, I always told him, I'm like, dude, that's your mom, though. Like, as much as you want to sit there and say, like, she's not your mother, she's just a bitch, whatever, she is your mother. She raised you, she gave you everything she could. Everything. She gave you all the love and affection. Like, she will forever love you. She kept you under her roof even after you turned 18. She didn't have to do that if she didn't want to. Yeah. She loves you. And he's like, no, she doesn't love me. You know, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't change someone that didn't want to be changed. But I was telling him, I was like, I really think you should consider it. Like, I know she loves you. Mm-hmm. But...
Not Micky just putting this guy's business out for all you're doing.
Okay, but I'm not trying this person.
That bitch.
But no names have been said, no nothing. Like, this person is still, this identity is still private, it's still anonymous. Yeah. So, you know.
I can say names. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, but yeah.
You could say, like, fake names, like, this guy's name is Bob.
No, I mean, honestly, there was no reason for me to say names, that's why I didn't. Right. But honestly, like, I really hope the relationship got better, because there was a point, I know he loves her, because I know there was a point where she was dying, essentially, and he cared for her. Like, he was like, I need to go see her, I need to make sure she's okay, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know if it was him talking or if it was just the fact that she had a lot of money and jewelry at the time. Mm-hmm. So.
Wow, you're not painting this guy to be a good person.
No, because I don't know. The thing is, like, I want to assume it's because he loves her. Yeah. But he's a macho man. Mm-hmm. You know? He's a macho man that I want to say only cares about himself. Yeah. But that was just, this was like teenager me. Like, this was like the 18, 16, 17. Like, I was very young. Yeah. You know? So maybe he changed her. Maybe he loves her now. You know? Maybe he loves her and whatever. I don't care.
I hate you.
Hold on, can I say one more thing though?
How did you set it up?
No. So I laughed earlier, and I didn't mean to laugh when you were talking about how, like, the struggles and shit, and all I could think about was high school is such a serious thing. These
Anywho.
I'm sorry, that's what came into my head. It's like the other song that's stuck in our head.
Hold on. Which one? Yeah. So, insert cash or select payment time. Just to complete transaction.
Guys, if you're still watching, I'm sorry.
You say that last part.
Thank you for choosing one.
I'm
Okay.
so sorry. That's derailed into stupidity.
Anyway.
And it's because she's tired. Honestly, when she's tired, she acts like this.
Honestly. Okay. Shut up.
Who said that?
Okay, we're gonna wrap this up because I bet you some of you are like, really? Anyways. But yeah,
serious topic.
yeah, this topic is, I mean, I really want to know out there, have you guys been in the foster system? Do you know anything? Are you guys foster parents? Please educate us on what it's like. Please give us like information, struggles.
Yeah, because there's only so much that we could learn from like online, like going through online, going through like actual people, like to actually hear your stories from actual like people who were adopted or parents, guardians, whatever, or even if you were just like a guardian of like your grandson, like your like the mother ended up under hard times or whatever the case may be, and then it kind of went on you. Either you or going to be into the system, and you chose to adopt them or foster them, because what you've done, what you do by adopting, fostering, if it's for good reason and not just for that monthly paycheck that they give you, which is unfortunately another side effect to come, which is good and bad, but that's a whole topic for another day. What you guys do is really great and really monumental. And honestly, every experience is different. So if you guys are fostered, adopted, or do foster or do adopt, I don't know. Let us know your experience. Let us know how it is. Mm-hmm. Let us know that there's still humanity and there's still hope in the world. Please.
Yeah, please. And again, obviously, we all think differently, all our opinions, whether you agree with them or not. We don't mean to offend you guys. If we did offend you, please correct us respectfully, of course. And of course, like again, leave us your thoughts, topic ideas, anything that you guys want to see. Yeah, let us know. Please, we're very interested. Obviously, you know where to hit us up for topic ideas, our emails, TikTok, YouTube, on the comment section. Just don't be afraid. Just give us your thoughts.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and does anyone have anything else to say before we wrap up today's episode?
I think you guys could take care of it for the most part. Just let us know what you think. Be respectful, of course.
Yeah.
Let us know if there's any other topics you want us to touch on, whether it's related to this or something else entirely.
Yeah, like if you want us to talk about something that just like, I don't know, either this episode just reminded you or whatever. Or it could just be something stupid like, what's your favorite colors? What's your favorite Nintendo
Yeah, that was always cool.
No,
we
it's
do
not.
want to have like another side thing, because this is like all of our serious topics. We want to have silly topics too, so let us know everything, serious or otherwise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate if you're still here after all the jokes and all the nonsense and all the segues and all.
Again, I'm sorry.
If you're still here, we really appreciate you guys, honestly, because I don't know. Without you guys, we're just four people just in my room talking to each other.
Yeah, it's kind of boring. But you guys make it fun.
All right, guys. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.